everyone, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a end of year techo kaigi. What are the notebooks that I'm planning to take with me or planning to use in the next year? Because it is December, it is a time when we're all, kind of figured out what we're going to use. I think I have maybe figured it out 90%, and I'm just trying to make sure that the one that I'm missing is probably my work journal, which I still haven't figured out. But all in all, the stuff that you see on the left is what I've been using this year, and the stuff on the right is what I will be primarily taking or using in the next year. This Inuyasha weeks is going to come with me. It's going to be like a 7-year thing, so we'll talk about that. But if you would like to watch my 2025 planner notebook system and end of year techo kaigi for 2024, please do keep watching. So let's probably start off with the stuff that I used this year. I had this Moleskine pocket notebook which has a soft cover that I was using as my work notebook. So this is just just for taking notes. I wasn't a big fan of this, I would say, but it kind of served the purpose. I won't go talk about most of these in too much detail, but I don't know if I'm going to purchase a Moleskine for next year for my work, as my work notebook. I have another pocket notebook which I'm possibly planning to reuse, and because I'm not necessarily taking a lot of notes at work. I do have like the in-office notes app, and anything that's required, you have like other tools that are using. But there might be some cases where like somebody's saying something interesting or talking about something that's relevant, and that's usually how I take notes. I'm not a big fan of the Moleskine pages, and I really don't care enough to maybe buy great paper for my work. So it's going to be one of those things that I may get a Moleskine for next year, but I haven't thought about it too much. So this was decent. It helped me. It was pretty good. It's good to have like the full year in here. One of the if you've seen my channel before, and if you've seen some of my videos before, you would know this bad boy. This is the 2022 Inuyasha spring weeks. And I use this as my 7-year journal. I have a very in-depth video talking about how I use this as my 7-year. I will link that up in the cards, but this has been, the strongest contender for my year. I've been able to keep up with this almost every week. I talk about it, how I typically write my entries in here. So this is something that's going to come with me in the next year, and this is I feel like this is Hobonichi's one of the best covers that they've ever released, and I'm pretty happy that I got my hands on this, and it's just going to continue being in my lineup until I believe 2029. So that's the 7-year, and I do talk about it in detail. So if you would like to see that, go check out the video that I'm linking in the cards. This one was my primary planner that I used for this year. It is a 2023 Hobonichi weeks, the One Piece weeks, and I'm so very much attached to this Hobonichi weeks that I've had a very difficult time letting go of this. I'll be honest. I used this for half a year of 2023, like at the beginning of 2023, and I kind of left it off and then stopped using it, and then I picked it up back in 2024. So this weeks has been with me for like 2 years, almost 2 years, and I've grown very, very close to it. I've had, it's basically me just writing down what I want to do in a week and just journaling wherever I want. I use this as like my dump it all journal. And I like using like a very thick Sakura Pigma pen, the Micron pen, which is pretty nice. And I've grown very accustomed to this one, so I've really had a very difficult time letting go of this. And the paper is so crinkly and it feels so good. But this has been my ride or die for 2 years, and it's one of those pieces that are really beautiful. Like it's good to look at. It has like art on the end pages as well. None of the new ones have it. And obviously the paper feels actually different after you have ink on it. So I was using this as my, if I take my phone with me, this bad boy comes with me as well, kind of a journal. And I'm having a tough time letting go of this one. But this was what I used in 2024 and 2023. It was working very well, and that's why I am continuing to go the weeks route for 2025. I've actually run out of pages, which is the only reason I have a new weeks, or else I would have like fitted into this one. But I will say that, considering that I need new pages, I've already moved into the 2025 weeks. I've actually gone 2 full weeks writing it. And this is going to be like the first planner that I am taking. I'm like basically saying that this is going to be like the planner that I use for 2025. One of the things that I have noticed though is this paper, as we all know, has changed, yes, but this paper also feels different when ink is on it. This paper, like none of it bleeds, so I'm really happy that it doesn't bleed into the pages. There is ghosting, which is fine, but this paper feels very different after ink is on it, versus this one actually kind of stays the same. It's still got that, like, there's a slick feeling to it that was not there on the previous one. Just something that I've noticed. So it's like minor things that you notice. And the thing about me, I've noticed this is I have difficulty trying to fit things into different planners. So if I have a hobby, like if I'm like one of the hobbies that I've picked up, I would really like to learn tarot. And I've noticed that if I create like a tarot journal separately, chances are that I won't stick to it. I need to have like one book where I can keep track, well, not track, but put everything that I want to put into just one book. And like even languages, like if I'm learning a language or I'm trying to learn a language, I want everything that I'm trying to do in that year in one book. So I've noticed that about myself as I've grown older. Like I try to say, oh, I'll keep a separate book for this versus I'll keep a separate book for that, for my hobbies. But I've noticed that keeping separate books just deters me from doing it, versus if I have everything that I want in one book, it helps me like, okay, you want something if you want to do something, just do it in the same book that you have. That's kind of what's working for me. But the flip side of that is like, I tend to like write a lot. And I've already used up like 7 pages in like 7 back pages, and it's not even the end of the year. So I do have a feeling that I will run out of pages, which is fine. I mean, it's something that we will see when that happens, like what the alternate plan would be. So I'm kind of happy about it. I like the cover that I picked up, but I did have like a moment a couple of days ago where I was like, oh, dang it, I should have really got the Luffy One Piece one. I don't know. I don't think I'll buy that one, but I did have that moment. So that's that. So the Hobonichi 2025 Hobonichi weeks, I do have this supplement notebook that I tuck it into the back. This is the one that I used for the previous year as well. So I pasted things that I want to reference, or things that I want to like read, so that I don't go back to reading the same thing that I read every single time. So I already moved in. I have like my pencil board, my Astro Boy pencil board. I love this one. And it was difficult moving into this, not gonna lie, but I've done it. So that's the first one. And what else? I have also started a travel journal, and this one is kind of not specifically, something that it's not a 2025 kind of a thing, but it's a new journal, which is why I'm including it. And I speak about this a little bit in one of the videos that I filmed, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. So I'll link that for a little bit more detail. But this is the one that I am going to use in case I'm traveling anywhere. Like if I'm collecting ephemera, I would like to put it in into one place. So I will use a notebook for, collecting the ephemera and like documenting all of those trips that I have. Not that I'm taking a lot of trips, but it will just be like, okay, this city, this country, wherever it may be, from this page to this page. And one of the things that I speak about is, the fact that I can slide my Hobonichi weeks into the clear folder that's available from the Travelers Company. I kind of like this setup. It just helps me keep everything that I want to keep when I'm traveling. Like you can put a passport in this as well. So I like this setup, and I think I'm going to use this for, whenever I'm traveling and whenever I want to document or collect ephemera. So it's going to be like a supplement for the main notebook, and knowing that the weeks can fit into it is pretty nice. So it's a modest setup, I would say. And I kind of like it, the way that this sits together. So, my final list of things that I have for 2025 and beyond, I would say, right? Like these two are going to be like things beyond 2025. This is going to be the main planner / journal. This is my 7-year, and this is my travel ephemera collection, whatever, Camel Traveler standard size notebook. And I really love this setup. I think it's enough for me with the life that I'm leading right now. I would have really liked to use something like a Hobonichi cousin, because like I said, like I have a lot of random thoughts that I just want pages to put in, but I also feel like the Hobonichi cousin might be a little bit too big for me. And if I ever run out of pages, we'll see what I do, because I actually have, now that we're on the topic, this was a, oops, I gotta just drop that, so hold on. I have this Nolte Pocket gold edge notebook that I purchased in late 2023, which was meant to be my reading journal, which I used until April and completely left it. That's where everything got just switched into this one. So I know that if I run out of pages, I do have pages in here to journal, which is great. And, having this is a pouch that I think I purchased this in 2022. Having this set up, keeping them together is something that I like. So I know that the weeks and the pocket notebook fit in here. So I'm pretty happy that, if in case I run out of pages, this is actually pretty cool. I have this patch that I've been trying to put on here, which for some reason does not work. So I don't know how to put this. I think this is meant to be like an iron-on patch, but you have to iron it on from the other side. And I don't know how to reach there. So if anybody has any ideas, I'm all ears. How do I put this patch here? But maybe I have to sew it. I don't know. But yeah. So we kind of went on a tangent there, but that's how all of these videos are. Like none of this is like quality production. But yeah, that's probably what my stack is going to be for the next year. It's pretty modest, I would say. I like how it is, and it's just what works for me. So all of my hobbies, all of my reading, all of that's going to be in here, and it's probably going to follow the same same structure that I have for my previous weeks, the one-piece weeks. That's the same kind of structure that I will follow for here as well. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I have still not thought about like a work journal or a work notebook, but I have a notebook, a plain notebook somewhere. I'm pretty sure I do, and I'll probably just reuse that. Yeah, so that's this very chaotic end of year Techokaigi, my notebook system that I'm going to use for 2025. Let me know what you think of it. And if you've decided your notebook system, please drop them in the comments. I'm always looking for new ideas. And I hope you enjoy this video. And please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.